And it is always fun recording these because I see my last video first, and man, was I excited. So, this one will not be as exciting. Uh, we're just going to overview the week. So the first thing is the aphorism. I hope you guys enjoy those, that you're getting a lot out of that. It helps you to dig a little bit deeper, not only in the professional work, but the personal. So, then learning activity one is the online classroom. Hopefully you all are ready for that. I think it'll be a good time where you get to work on your skills and then take it to this character level with career development. So a lot of the reading will go into how there's a huge impact of doing a good assessment and knowing their personal background. So I'll help you with that tonight, that we develop that. Develop kind of just a refining of your skills to go after that stuff. So you all are practicing that right now, so I shouldn't be doing too much teaching, but man, I'm all about trying it out, seeing how it goes, and maybe you'll learn some stuff from me tonight. So I'm excited to be there with you. Learning activity number two is your homework and competence character plan update. So schedule your calls, get them in. Let's get going. So then learning activity number three is Google as the new resume. So this is going into the book, What Color is Your Parachute? I think you guys will really enjoy this book. It walks you through not only how to help someone else develop their online presence, but I think it'll help you also, at least in this first section. So some of the emphasis I would put on it is that 91% of employers have Googled their potential employee. So either they found them on Google or they are Googling them to get more info. For example, where I work, we have a new person that they're trying to hire right now, and they're gathering information to make sure she'll be a good fit for the culture. So that's a real thing. That's definitely something that people do. Now, do they do that in factories? Probably not. Do they do that in fast food? Definitely not. So, I mean, there's definitely areas in this book that won't apply to some of the people that you work with, but I think it'll help you guys out as you're just entering into the field and finding good placements, climbing up the ladder. So one of the things they talk about is four things you can do to help your online presence. So they talk about editing, filling in, expanding, and adding. So the editing part is listing the adjectives you want people to know about yourself and making sure that your online presence matches up. Filling in is keep everything up to date, and then it actually walks you through how to do LinkedIn, how to set up a profile. So I think that's helpful. I actually helped somebody do an application the other day for one of the few times I've helped people do career stuff, and they asked for your LinkedIn profile. So it's something new that I've never seen until recently. So and then expand is talks about reaching out to potential employers by getting your expertise developed. So getting on like link serves or listservs, different blogs uh, that are based on the subject, and then you find employers that way. So a lot of networking goes into that. So that's what they also go into starting a YouTube channel. I mean, that's what Townsend now is. It's like next level uh, building that building that platform for people to get in contact with you. So and then add is how to write a resume. I would guess that most of you have done that, but they walk you through how to do that so that you can walk through someone else through how to do that. So how to tailor a resume to the specific company. There's some pretty good stories in there about how they are tailoring it to manufacturers or heavy equipment sales. So I have the PDF version, and it has links that you can click on to see good resume examples. Let me know if you guys don't have that. I can pass that along. And then it talks about where to post it. So it actually has some really interesting points with starting with younger companies and starting with smaller companies and then working your way up because they'll invest more. Alternatives to resumes. So There's an example on one of the pages for doing a cover letter, and then a job or career portfolio. And then they go through the don't do's, which is good stuff. Definitely read through that. So, all right. So that's learning activity 3. So it's the usual: post a copy of your updated resume, share insights from your Google search. You have to search yourself on Google. It should be interesting. And then discuss the implications of doing a Google search um, for others. And then read and respond. So then it goes to learning activity number 4. So this is the bulk of your reading, and if you can get past the first couple paragraphs, you'll be gold, because it gets in some really good stuff. It gets in depth. So they walk you through the 5 different ways of going after career development. So trait-oriented theories, developmental theories, social learning and cognitive theories, person and environment perspective, and um, and then it goes into how to create, how to do career development. So they talk about matching the individual traits. For this is the trait theory one, and how you match it to the specific requirements of a specific occupation. So it's not just about test results, which is good news for us, because if it was just about test results, then there would be no need for us in this career field, or career development field. So actually one of the first founders, I can't remember what his name is, Pearson, man. One of the beginning founders talks about it. Yeah, Parsons, a developer of the trait theory, gets into the individual background first as a crucial part of his process. So that's what we'll be working on tonight in virtual classroom. And then a recent critique on disregarding a person's interests, values, aptitudes, achievements, and personalities is one of the downfalls, is that they don't go too much into that. So it'll be interesting throughout the book if they tie that in, and how they tie that in. So some of the takeaways is the use of tests to link strengths and weaknesses to a career, and then contemporary practice of matching work environment to personality, and then observed similarities of current workers in the field and their values to your values. So getting them to do research on what the attributes are of current workers in that career, and the attributes of the person that you're working with. So then we go into person environment correspondence counseling. So a person brings their requirements to the work environment, and vice versa. The work environment brings their requirements. And so seeing that match up, I think, is the essence of this theory. So people seek to achieve and maintain a positive relationship with their work environment is the main emphasis. So, so there's 4 key points in this theory. So work personality and work environment should be amenable. So they work together. They're pretty fluid with each other. And then the individual needs are most important in determining individuals' fit into the work environment. So they lean a lot on what the individual needs. Individual and reinforcer system that characterize the work setting and predictions of long-term stability at the workplace and retainment. So finding the reinforcer system. So they go on to talk about how the reinforcer system is very hard to locate these days in this culture. So I think that'll be a part where you and the client that you're working with really delve into and get to know. And then number 4 is job placement is best accomplished by matching worker traits with requirements of the work environment. For example, I've worked with a person recently who used to be a probation officer, and so has that specific skill set, but the negativity is really difficult for him because of this judge in his head. So we do have areas where we can work on that, and hopefully he gets back into that field if we work on how harsh his judge is. Because of being around the negativity, it just increases the loudness of his judge. So that just gives you kind of a little bit of an example for how you work at the Townsend model end. So I think I'll play that one out tonight and see how you guys do with that. Um, and then some takeaways. So page 27, I think, is probably my biggest takeaway out of this reading. I'm not going to go into the other theories because this video would be like 30 minutes long. So page 27 has a list of inventories, not only for measuring the worker's abilities, values, personality style, reinforcers from different occupations, but it goes beyond that. So I would definitely take a look at that, explore some of those inventories. Those are the most helpful as far as knowing where to start with somebody, and then seeing what skills they lack and what they need to build in that are just a little bit undeveloped that you can actually work on. And then you should also know if the person is, this is an interesting point, you should also know if the person is achievement oriented, so they have a satisfactoriness, or a self-fulfilled oriented, so that it comes from satisfactory, so enjoying what they do. So if that's more important than achieving and going up in the ladder and stuff like that. So, all right, so that is learning activity 4 and 5. So activity number 4 will be write a position discussion post summarizing briefly 2 career counseling theories from the course text and offer a critical analysis of both. So compare the 2 theories by describing similarities and differences. So I've technically given you 2, so you can use these 2, and then just reading and responding to 2 of your classmates' posts. Learning activity number 5 is prepare to write your first scholarly paper for this course. So this will be 2 to 4 pages. And briefly describe the client population or counseling setting you are currently working with or wish to work with. Identify a theory of career development and or career counseling. Explain how you would apply this theoretical framework in your work with clients. We will practice this tonight, so I wouldn't necessarily get started on that until after tonight's class. And then create a case study in summary form to illustrate your integration of the theory. So, that's the overview for week 1, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tonight. I think we're going to do great work. All right, talk to you later.